Peace family. So I'm back with another one. So today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about the importance of your patience. You know what I'm saying? Your patience, your patience, your patience. It is extremely important to understand that if you are an impatient being, then that is a task that you should be working on at least 5 times daily at the minimum. And I would say for me, like, once I got to my late teens, that's when I got to the space of realizing that, like, I need to work on my patience. Like, I knew that was something that was gonna be something that I was gonna have to dive in on. I didn't understand that I had this much energy within me. You know, I was the one that was in the group out of my siblings and my cousins and stuff. When we would have sleepovers, I'm the one that's gonna stay up 24 hours and still got energy to keep going the next day. You know what I'm saying? But as I got to my teens, I realized how important my patience was. And that was something that I took extremely important in my late teens, early 20s. So even while I was out ripping and running and doing what I was doing and, you know, matrix wise, you know what I'm saying, I still understood that it was certain things that I knew I needed to work on. And when it got down to me putting in that time in on my patience, it really came down to me understanding and paying attention to my body. And even though I didn't know my chakra system, I didn't know, you know, still didn't understand how to get the butterflies and shit out my stomach, but it was like I knew that when my patience started running thin, something would start happening within here, and I knew I needed to adjust it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when it comes to working on your patience, this is something that you will notice that you're gonna even be doing on small tasks, from when you wake up to, say, it's just even to running to the bathroom or to going to the fridge and getting yourself together. Like, it'll be those days where you're gonna have different energies. It feels like you got different energy on you. You know what I'm saying? Even if you haven't communicated with anybody, you may not even touched your phone and your technology yet. You know what I'm saying? But spiritually, you don't have to touch that stuff to still have different energies trying to reach you. These are just better outlets for them to access us. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to that space, you'll see that, like, you may have little subtle things that's not really flowing the way you want it to flow, and you kind of getting worked up because maybe you press for time to get out to the build job or to get out to get the kids away or to the schools or whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So when you feel your chakra system in line, or your organs, whatever you want to call them, you know what I'm saying, when you feel yourself within starting to bubble up and starting to wear itself a little low on its patience, these are the times you want to pay extra attention and put more awareness on your body and your vessel alone. You know what I'm saying? And when you focus these things, and also think about your breathing, and also understand that, okay, this is the time right now. This is my patience test. You know what I'm saying? Because we always get tested, and I already did one on that, but this is more so like your patience testing. It's going to be constantly different tests coming your way, but we're just speaking as far as your patience right now, because we have to have a lot of patience out here dealing with all these witchy motherfuckers that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't duck and run from everybody. Everybody, you're not going to be allowed to ghost. You know what I'm saying? If you work with some people, you're not going to be able to ghost them. If you got neighbors, you're not going to be able to ghost them. You know what I'm saying? So you still going to have your random encounters and engagements with these beings. So when you focusing on your patience and you realizing that, okay, I'm not slowing myself down enough for me to kind of focus my energy the way I need to focus it, this is the time to dive in on it now. Because if you work on your patience within your own time and your space, in your you know, your safe space, your peace space, then when you have to deal with these beings, it's going to make your body understand that process a lot smoother, and it's going to make you be able to gain control of your own spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? So once you can gain control of your thoughts and your spirit, well, you are the spirit, but then you able to control your vessel, then that's going to help you balance yourself out more with your patience. And I realized that shit was huge for me, even understanding that shit at a young age before I had the knowledge and information to correlate all that shit together. And it was like, if that wasn't something that I worked on my patience, then I would be part of the microwavable society as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's not something that I dive into. And even when my microwave broke at the house, I didn't get another one. Haven't had a microwave for like going on 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? And I never wanted to replace it. I can easily replace it, but I didn't want to. I already knew that was one way that I didn't need to be cooking my food through radiation. That was me, oh, I ain't got no patience. This is quick, or I can warm it up real quick here. I can do this. Everything is real quick here. No. I had to work on my patience. So I even took that as an obstacle to work on my patience. I don't have a problem with warming my food up in the oven, or if I got certain items, I can just put on the pan and throw that shit on there and warm that shit up on the stovetop. That's what I would much rather do. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind and in my spirit realm, I already know most of this shit that they got out here as far as coming from the Matrix is going to be some witchy shit. So we have to cipher through all that shit. We have to be the filter. You have to be the motherfucking water filter. You gonna go out and get a water filter, you be the water filter. You know what I'm saying? So this all comes down to being patient. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have microwaves in their house because they don't have no patience. And if you think about it, that's one less thing that you don't have to do, or one thing that you can hurry up and do. You know what I'm saying? If you got the microwave, you can just throw something in there real quick for 30, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, and then you can go ahead and eat your food, go on about your day. Why not? But you can also take that as a simulation test for yourself, so that way I would much rather be testing myself through movies and through personal experiences, creating situations like that, opposed from having to dive into the situation every time. Like when I had games in sports and shit, I would practice. I wouldn't just chill all week and then just pull up for the game. I still got to make sure my body, my muscle memory is together. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that I'm I'm creating that bubble in my spirit where I'm putting myself in that space. The more I can focus my energy in the space, the more I'm gonna make shit pop. You know what I'm saying? That's for all of us. So understanding your patience and all the little things you could do to remove out of your space to kind of help you work on your patience more. You know what I'm saying? So these are like, or I would say this is something that, like, if your patience is thin and you don't have patience out here, you're going to be crashing out every other day or just about every other week, because you're going to be using way more energy than you want to use. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be constantly going in your reserve tank. Your reserve tank isn't supposed to be used every day, daily. It's a reserve. It's your backup fuel tank. You know what I'm saying? But when you over expunging and giving that energy out and people sucking your energy, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a balance for it. So that's when you have to create that patience for yourself. So even if I'm like going out to film, or if I'm doing something with the mini, like if I feel myself about to start being rushed or feeling a little chaotic or trying to fight this physical time because I want to be somewhere by a certain physical time, I tell myself to slow the fuck down. I don't say it out loud, I say it within, but that's the same thing. I'm getting my patience together right now. When your spirit start getting worked up and it's getting chaotic in there, you start getting a little klutzy and fumble, you start missing things, and all kind of things start happening. You know what I'm saying? So if I can keep my patience together and I can slow myself down when I feel it starting to move too fast, then that's going to help me process whatever I'm trying to do a lot better and a lot smoother. You know what I'm saying? And I would much rather be dealing with working on my patience with a fucking not having a microwave than constantly having to deal with my neighbor or somebody trying to get in the picture on some witchy shit, or the people that I may deal with sporadically once in a blue moon that's on some witchy shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's a war going on out here. So me being a warrior and ready for the smoke all the time, I still have to be patient. I done been in so many fights in my life. I done been in fights when I was happy. I done been in fights when I was sad. I done been in fights when I was mad. I've been in fights when I was at peace. Like, it didn't matter what kind of mode I've been in, I done been in that situation. So I'm pretty adjusted at putting my energy in, you know, a really hard space and then pulling myself back out and continuing doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But understanding all of these things, right? And knowing that we're at war, it's a spiritual war. Even when I fight physically and when I wasn't the one to rush somebody. I'ma rush you and throw you my energy, right? And then you can just use my energy as momentum against me. You know what I'm saying? Why would I do that? I would rather line you up nice myself opposed from rushing you and then randomly getting hit or knocked out, or I got a fucking huge eye or a lump or a cut or some shit like that. Like, nah, it's the same thing. It's the same concept. So I take my tactics in all my situations that I've been in, and I approach it from the spiritual standpoint a lot deeper. Just because somebody hit me don't mean I gotta rush them right away. Yeah, I'm still gonna knock your ass out, or I'm gonna swing on you and try to make some contact, guarantee that. But spiritually, you maneuver it different. You have to maneuver it different, and that's why the patience has to come into play, so that way you making sure you're processing things properly. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run up too long. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tapping everything down below. Y'all already know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love to the kings and queens.